This sick and twisted individual right here done the most unthinkable acts to women who were passed out on the operating table while he was supposed to be operating on them. And you ain't even gonna believe what kind of doctor he is right here. Dr. Zhi Alan Chen, Zhi Alan Chen, however you want to pronounce it, was, and I use was because he ain't no more. There ain't a medical licensing board in the entire United States of America that's going to give this piece of trash another license, nor should they. When he gets out of prison, yeah, he's getting out of prison. Hear me out. This dude's going to get out of prison because he got slapped on the wrist. Bad little Dr. Chang. Bad little Dr. Chang. That's what the DA, the district attorney, who's meant to protect the victims and stand on behalf of the victims and speak up for the victims. Here we go again. I'm sure you again. Bad little Dr. Chang. Don't you ever do that again. Don't you ever violate women when they're passed out on a medical examiner's table and you're supposed to be operating on them, with rules and regulations, and you sticking your finger in places where it don't belong. That's a bad little Dr. Chang. Your Honor, yeah, the judge who also agreed with the sentence that this piece of trash got said that, we're going to come to an agreement instead of prosecuting this fool on trial and giving him the maximum hammer of the law. Instead, he just got a little slap on the wrist, man. I don't know what else to say. I know I offended somebody when I did my little wrist slapping thing. They're like, what about the victims? Are you stupid? You're not watching my channel? I always speak up for the victims. That's what I'm doing right here. What you want me to do? Ask me to vote for it, and I'm going to vote for these DAs and these judges to be held accountable and to go to jail. They need to be held accountable. They don't let this savage back out. This dude is a serial, sick pervert, and they're going to let him out of prison, and he's just going to move to China or somewhere, and he's going to do it again. He's going to make somebody a victim. We don't care about nobody. We all jacked up, y'all. Our justice system is jacked up. We supposed to be handing down sentences that keep people like this in prison for the rest of their life. But ain't nobody in the uproar because the media didn't tell nobody to get in uproar, because that's the only time that people get upset and worked up is when the media says, now get mad. 3, 2, 1, go. And then the people say, you said this, you said that. I can't think of my own. The media. And the media says stop, and they go, and they're waiting. When will the media tell me to get upset about it? Oh, the media said this, the media said that. Come on, man. So Dr. Chang is a gastroenterologist. And you might be asking, well, what is a gastroenterologist? According to what I can find online, they deal with the diagnosis and they treat and manage diseases that come from the digestive system, including the esophagus, the stomach, the intestines, gallbladder, and the pancreas. I have heartburn, so I understand the importance of this medical field. I understand, that there has to be some kind of doctor that, helps people in these areas. But what I also understand too is that when I go to the hospital and I go in the medical room and they give me a sedation and I get passed out, I'm trusting that they're going to be professionals and they're not going to sexually assault me while I'm laying in the medical room on sedation. Well, that's exactly what this doctor did. I know it's disgusting, but when you find out how he did what he did and how many places he did what he did, this is going to disgust you even more. And then when you find out that our justice system only gave this dude a bad little Dr. Chang on his wrist, you're going to be like, man, I don't know what to say. Yeah, because I don't know what to say neither. So I'm going to go straight to an article I found that was really interesting. It's not an article, it's a write-up, because Melinda Katz, who's the district attorney for this case from New York, this happened in Queens, New York. She was the DA of it, and she was the one working hand in hand with the defense. And somehow or another, after having all the conversation that she had, District Attorney Melinda Katz, with the victims, she came to this insane, absurd agreement. And they had to make a response. And this is from August 28, 2025. Last year is when he got his sentence. Queens District Attorney Melinda Katz announced that Zhi Alan Chen was sentenced to 24 years in prison, 10 years post-release supervision, and a requirement to register as a sex offender after pleading guilty to multiple counts of the R word and SA for assaulting acquaintances and female hospital patients. The defendant, a former gastroenterologist of New York Presbyterian Queens Hospital, filmed the abuse of his unconscious victims in both his apartment and at the hospital. District Attorney Katz said, "You might be thinking, well, how did he do this at his apartment? Was he doing surgery on his apartment? Nah, he was doing it to his own girlfriend. That's how this whole thing blew up. His girlfriend was going through his phone one day, and she saw that he had gave her sedation, and she was knocked out. And while she was knocked out, he was getting his rocks off. He was SAing her while she was unconscious. And she's like, whoa, what the freak did I do? And she started going further through his phone, and she saw him doing it to multiple victims in multiple places, in multiple countries, in multiple states. This dude is a serial pervert." District Attorney Katz said, Zhi Alan Chen committed a series of heinous acts against women. He did so both as a private citizen, SAing women who were his intimate partners, and as a doctor, SAing vulnerable patients who came to the hospital in need of help. As a consequence of his crimes, he will serve over 2 decades in prison with 10 years of post-release supervision and must register as a sex offender, likely for the rest of his life. I am grateful to my Special Victims Bureau and the New York Police Department Special Victims Squad for their painstaking work in this case. But then you spit in their face, District Attorney Katz. This is a slap on the wrist. This dude gets life and nothing else but life without parole. It is most important to express gratitude to the brave survivor who came forward initially to report the defendant's crimes, and the other victims who helped us to make sure no other women were getting hurt going forward. You might be asking, well, how come other people didn't come forward before this? They didn't know what happened to them. They were under sedation. This fool was taking mass amounts of sedation, and he's not an anesthesiologist, but he was administering anesthesia to his victims because he had a sick motive. So they couldn't have known what happened to him because they were passed out. And when they were passed out, thinking they got to go in your booty and take those x-rays because they have to work on your stomach or go through your esophagus. But when you wake up and you all swollen your mouth and your booty, you ain't thinking nothing. But this dude been fiddling with you. I know it's sick, man, but that's what this dude was doing. He was filming it. I don't know how none of the nurses or nobody saw this. Chang, 35, dude's 35 years old last year when he pleads guilty to these charges. Dude was a young doctor. Obviously, this dude's really smart. Chang of Astoria pleaded guilty June 30th last year to 4 counts of the hard R word in the first degree and 3 counts of SA abuse in the first degree in satisfaction of the consolidated indictments against him. He additionally entered the Alford plea to 1 count of SA. Queens Supreme Court Justice Usher Pandit Durant sentenced him today to a determinate sentence of 24 years in prison. There's the judge right there. So the judge and the DA, Judge Usher Pandit, and I don't know how to pronounce the name, but they came into agreement to let this dude get 24 years. This dude is young. He's 35. He's going to get out, and he's still going to be young enough to go on and live a life and do this to some. He's going to do this to people again. I guarantee this dude's jetting out the country. He ain't going to stay in the country. Chang will be required to register as a sex offender upon his release. Chang's ability to practice medicine has been suspended by the state. No duh. DA Katz said that Chang was arrested on December 27, 2022 for R-wording a female acquaintance at his apartment. The woman discovered the videos depicting herself and other women being assaulted by the doctor. That's what I just talked about a second ago. The investigation was launched by the Special Victims Bureau in Queens, working with the New York Presbyterian Queens Hospital, where the defendant was employed. A search warrant executed Chang's home led to seizure of numerous digital media storage devices and contained videos of him SAing unconscious female in hospitals and in female acquaintances at his apartment. Chang was subsequently charged in multiple indictments with over 50 counts relating to his abuse of his victim. 50 counts. That means they had evidence that this dude did this 50 times. That's just the evidence they found. So this dude had to have done this to hundreds of times over and over to multiple women. This is crazy. And he only got 24 years. Now they're saying that the victims are suing the hospital, which I don't blame the victims. They should sue the hospital. And that's why hospitals have medical insurance for stuff like this. But who else should be sued is the DA's office and the judge. They should be sued for giving this dude a lenient sentence. I want to know what y'all opinion are. What do you think Dr. Chang should get? Do you think we're too lenient on people who commit these crimes? He's going to be in his 60s when he gets out of jail. And if there's some kind of loophole, I'm sure he'll get out sooner. Chances are this dude's not going to serve the entire 24-year sentence. He's probably going to do at most, 15 years. He might get out before that. And he's going to be back out and he's going to go to China and he's going to get his license in China because China doesn't care what he did here. And he's going to keep operating and doing this to some more poor women there. And this is the problem we have. So, I don't know, man. Share in the comments. Do you think we're too lenient on people who do these crimes? Or do you believe with the saying going around social media where this dude should get the wood chipper? I don't know what he should get, but I know he should get a life sentence. In all likelihood, in my opinion, the death sentence and capital punishment should be on the table. And I'm all for speedy execution once the person is found guilty and the death sentence is his punishment that's issued to him. The execution should be carried out quickly. If there's going to be an appeal, it needs to be real quick. We're not going to drag this on. He needs to be done in, pop, pop, 2 to the dome, and it's over with. And I'm not talking about an innocent person. The victims are innocent. They got to deal with this fool for the rest of their life, knowing that something happened to them while they were unconscious. Give me a like and subscribe to The Pen and the Shank, the most unusual and unique crime and prison channel experience on YouTube.